This is the St. Patrick's Cemetery. Up here on this flat, there's about 1,700 headstones, about 2,800 people named on them. And if you go over the edge of the rise there, it looks like this beautiful open field. It's, this whole thing is like 7 or 8 acres. There's over 20,000 people buried here. And the majority of them, 20,000 of them, are buried on the downslope without any markers at all. And they were paupers' burials. The church paid for them to be buried there. Most of them are Irish immigrants coming from the famines, the potato famines in Ireland in the 1850s. There are also buried here Irish emigres who were brought into the Union Army in the middle of the Civil War almost as soon as they arrived and then died in the Civil War. Long history of conflict between Black Americans and Irish Americans, and some of it has its roots in this Civil War origin story. There were Irish in this area before then who came over, mostly as workers, and a lot of them worked on the Blackstone Canal and other areas. And they were used in that because they were considered cheaper than black labor and more expendable because you could pay them a low wage, and if they died, who cared? Where if you had a slave, you wanted to protect your investment. So again, just sort of this labor history pitting classes of people against each other. The other things, this cemetery is laid out a little bit on a cross basis, with a cross piece here. There's an alley that's not paved, and then the axis here. There's a monument to one of the first pastor of St. Patrick's Church right at the head of it. And the little cross just to the left of that monument lists about 10 Sisters of Mercy, who were the first Sisters of Mercy to come to Providence to help start a school. And they were the target of a lot of rumors and of the Know Nothing movement that was saying things about sexual relationships between priests and nuns and hidden babies and all this political takeover stuff, a lot of conspiracy theory. There's a lot of kids who die before their parents, and the whole family's buried here, but the kids died young and there would be epidemics that would go through, and a lot of times mom and the kids or the mother would die in childbirth with the kid. Most of the Irish who came, they would have an Irish wake for them at home, and the Irish wake, or the American wake, was the acknowledgement of their family having scraped together the money to send them to America in order to save them from starvation. Irish wakes, combining elements of grief and celebration, were held to mark the migration of loved ones escaping the famines. Family and friends gathered to acknowledge that they expected to never hear from them again because of the constraints of poverty and difficulties in transatlantic communication and travel.